All right, another cold December day or January day now. Got the space heater going. What are we working on today? We're going to try to get the plumbing reinstalled on the toilet. So that will be all this stuff and the new hoses connected up to the holding tank and the head. I'm going to start by, I'm just using a little bit of CLR to clean up this spot here where the old rust stains were, the old bolts. Holding the toilet down rusted out really bad, so while the toilet's out, may as well clean this stuff out, get that nice and pretty looking, and I'll get back to this in a second when it's clean. And then we'll get the toilet reinstalled, run the new plumbing, and start moving forward. Another thing I've been working on beyond the plumbing is removing all the old wiring. So there's just random wires all over. That's the depth finder. That still works. I'm going to keep that there. But a lot of them don't work. A lot of them, they used to go to, there was an auto helm right there, and they're rigged up here, and anything, like you can tell, that is not connected, I'm just ripping it all out. I have a feeling that after one season here, I'll probably end up rewiring the boat anyway, though I hope to not do a complete rewire the first season that I have it. But just by the basis of the way the electronics work, I'm not confident that much of it's going to work. So I'm removing anything I know doesn't work. And I will be putting in the basics so that way that stuff still works. Kind of isolating the bilge, the engine starter, GPS, but a lot of the extracurricular stuff is gonna be kicked out, and a lot of it's so antiquated anyway. You know, this old electric board that it really needs to be replaced. You know. I don't think the old speedometer works, and so on. So, all right, changing gears a little because it was too cold to get the pipes to stretch, like the plumbing, to stretch over the toilet fittings and the brass fittings. I tried putting them in boiling water, but it's like 10 degrees out, so that type of pipe is just too brittle. So I'm cleaning up the engine bay. Notice this was connected to the bottom of that seacock. It was just holding the ground wires in place, so I don't know. I might have to redo that. But what I'm going to do now is a lot of these hoses, and by a lot, I mean pretty much all of them, I don't really feel good about. I also just want to clean this place up. I think some of the stuff just wasn't routed properly, like the bilge hose over, all that. So I'm going to clean this up and route things properly. I'm going to take this home and clean that at home, the impeller. I already took the impeller out, but I'm going to clean the whole housing for it and think about how to reorganize, get rid of like that old nasty bilge pipe, start getting these scupper drains, hoses out. Those were leaking when it was raining the other day, and any wiring that I know is not going to be any good, I'm just going to rip out. But I got to figure out what it goes to first, because some of the wiring may actually be okay. And I do want the boat to work next summer at a basic level. Some of the advanced stuff we can worry about later, but I'd like the motor to work and, you know, the radio to work. In all honesty, that's probably what really needs to work, but that's what we're doing now. So how I'm taking this off, by the way, is just two 9/16 bolts and just undoing the hoses. These hoses were pretty stuck on. The way I was able to get them off was with getting this pick under there like that, kind of prying around the outside, spraying them down with a little WD-40. So what I got here is all those parts I'd taken out. This is the heat exchanger. These are like $800 if you have to replace them. So I'm hoping that I have them soaking in vinegar, hoping I can clean them up. I had it flipped around the other way so that the tubes were cleared up and I'm gonna rinse that out a bunch of times and see if that can work for a little bit. And then that's the impeller casing, doing the same thing. I haven't really found much info of tacking this the right way, but I've been soaking stuff in vinegar for years and it works pretty well. Side note project over here, I got a old joiner plane I'm also soaking in vinegar. Just a little side woodworking project that if you have an old plane or anything, it'll burn off the rust, and then you can take it and sand it down, and that will make it so that you can take an old Stanley plane you can get for 10-20 bucks at the yard sale and make it a good one again. But yeah, so I got all that, and then I'm also tomorrow, I can't really see it, but gonna take all these pipes and take them down to the auto parts store most likely and see if I can match these all up, because all of these, you can't even see, they just look awful. Like nothing that I want to trust my safety in this summer. All right, at home now, working on this. This is the vent loop for the head. It is also really nasty, if you can see inside, but I had it soaking in vinegar in this bucket for like the last 5 hours, and it's washing up pretty good. So one more piece. I also got the new marine sanitation hose. So this is just kind of a little out of order videos of what I've been working on. It's coming together. I can't deny though that it is a little overwhelming and stressful to work on a decent sized boat project. You might be wondering why I bought this boat in the first place. It's got tons of problems. I'm sure real hardcore boat people would tell me I'm an idiot, but we looked at a number of boats, and this was just kind of the only one we could afford. And the one my wife liked it, and it met my criteria, which was, that it was classic and skegged rudder and diesel engine, and beggars can't be choosers. So we're gonna power through this, and we'll be all good.